Now I'm your favorite rock boy, black boy, school of hard knock boy, 360 degree, man I'm such a hot boy, D-boy, B-boy, you're 313 boy, no decoy, soldier of fortune, I seek and destroy, deploy, street noise that move your feet boy, nobody iller than boy, from Hanoi to Illinois, endless noise, power to pump up through your bins boys, the envoy, I keep this moving like this a convoy.
See I'm the truth, it's apparent and I flare it. I dare you to stare because I'm set my truck there again.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Nacho Avg podcast, episode 9. We have a great show lined up for you today. I can't thank you enough for being here. We have a special guest in Mr. Heavyweight Golf himself, Britt, Paige. I know I had to take a week's hiatus. I'm sitting here trying to get my life together outside of the social media realm. Things happen. I do apologize for having to cancel last week's show, but again, I am back. So I hope everybody's well. We've got some things going on in the world. And you know what? One of the things that started out when I started podcasting with my man, Red Rich. What's up, brother? Thank you for joining. I was the Nacho Avg Sports Report. So I'm sitting here reading some things today. One of the things I just happened to scroll up on TMZ, and it points out Washington football team, as we all know, they were known as the Redskins, and they had changed their name due to inappropriate implications. That they will no more headdresses, face paint will be allowed at the stadium. This just happened to pop up, which brings me back to something that took place last week. In turn, something close to Detroit. Here in the city of Detroit, we play in the AL Central. One of our biggest rivals is known as the Cleveland Indians. But if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in the world, they will no longer be known as the Cleveland Indians. They'll be known as the Cleveland Guardians starting next season. The Cleveland Guardians, as you might ask, I was a little puzzled myself, but based upon the research that's been being put on, is that these Guardians are apparently what guards the expressway and or the entrance and exit to the city of Cleveland. At first, I was like, who are we trying to be here? Are we trying to... They may have some issues with the Guardians name. I didn't even hear anything about that. That's news to me. I mean, they're not Guardians of the Galaxy. That's damn for sure. But I understand all the name changing that's going around. I understand the inappropriateness and the implications that it implies of how inappropriate it is. It's just very difficult for me to understand some of these things and the changes when it hasn't been across the board. And I guess I don't want to talk about things that I don't know about. The Cleveland Guardians already have the rights to something. Now, is this another sports team that is the Cleveland Guardians? Because right now, at this rate, all of these teams that have these racially racially driven mascots, they need to start taking notes from the minor league system. The minor league system, hands down, has the best mascots that you can think of. Simple enough. Let's go with the Toledo Mudhens, which is the AAA ball that the Detroit Tigers have. Even better, let's just stay in the state of Michigan. You go to the city of Lansing, their single A ball team, the Lansing Lugnuts. You go down to Cape Canaveral, you have the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Montgomery, Alabama, the Montgomery Biscuits. How can these teams continue to struggle and come up with better names? And again, I understand why you're changing them. But let's take some time. And my thing is it's a roller derby team. They own the rights to the name. I'm going to tell you now, I'm pretty sure that roller derby team's probably going to make a nice little chunk of change off of that because they're going to drive it up. That's almost like the situation where somebody realized that the URL for www.cowboys.com was expiring. Somebody jumped on it, and then they made the team buy it back from them for a pretty penny. most likely the team known as the Indians will pay them a fat amount of cash and it'll be resolved. Everything's solved with money these days. I mean, if somebody wanted to become that Nacho, it is up for sale. I'm not against selling it. I'm not going to roll over and go for cheap though. It comes with a TikTok, an Instagram, a Twitter as of today, also an OnlyFans. Because remember, the guac is extra, but always worth it. But yeah, it's one of those things where I think these teams need to either take a page out of the notebook from the minor league baseball system, or definitely start just tweaking what these like historic names that they want to come up with. And I heard like the Washington football team, they're leaning towards possibly the Washington Red Tails, which I think would be an amazing transition from something that was so inappropriate and degrading to something that is very historically rich and a part of America's history. You know what? With no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest on. Our guest is an avid sports fan. He is a very, very close friend of mine. We actually have been coworkers. We've been classmates through the years. I was his resident advisor. He was my terrible resident who always blasted his music all hours of the day while he was giving everybody haircuts. And I would have to literally key into this gentleman's room and turn it down. But I love the man nonetheless. The one, the only, Mr. Heavyweight Golf himself, Britt, Paige. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Hey,
Not
what's
much.
going on? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, not a problem, brother. I really appreciate you coming through.
You said you the key in my room, bringing back so many memories, man.
Bro, that was so what? I think you came in, I think a year after I did? I think you came in, 04?
Yeah, no, 05.
Yeah, 05. So yeah, I was living downstairs on the main hallway, just opposite the entrance, just like you. And it was always, you were blasting your music all hours of the day. You would leave and go party. Your music would still fucking be on. And I would just go in there and have to shut it off.
Now
It's
I turn
funny.
the music off as soon as I'm in the room.
It's crazy how priorities change throughout the years. You know, back then you just don't realize, what, because we weren't paying for the fucking electric then.
No,
The school was. Shit. And I mean, and we both had the same same hall director. And I don't know if you've seen what he just posted 2 days ago. He's smoking 8 pork butts for these resident advisor training. I said, bro,
wow.
you're smoking 8 pork butts. And I was like, I can come give a tutorial on what not to do as a resident advisor, because I was fucking good at that. I was real fucking good at doing what I wasn't supposed to be doing. I mean, it didn't help that majority of the RAs in our dorm were all a part of my fraternity, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
So what is your standpoint on these name changes that are coming out? I mean, because again, you and I, and we're going to get into this later on the show, we're going to talk a little bit about fantasy football, but what is your stance on all these name changes that are coming through the leagues?
I don't know what is so hard about coming up with names that's appropriate. I mean, people make team names for dodgeball games, so let alone professional teams. I'm just baffled, because I'm like, what's so hard? I mean, just like you said, the Lansing Lugnuts. How simple is that? Keep it simple. That's all. And I think they are overthinking the teams, and the names. So
I agree with you, especially with the Washington football team. Now, we're going into our second year now, and I the only reason I think it's taking so long is the fact that with it being the National Football League, the biggest sports league in the world. I mean, it literally owns a day of the week. It basically, I hate to put it this way, it trumps God on Sundays. And the thing closest to God is Notre Dame, and I hate Notre Dame. So, but it's just they literally own a day of the week. They're taking over Thursdays, especially on. I mean, they've always had Thanksgiving Day. You know, our Lions and the Cowboys, and it's just I don't understand what's taking so long. But I agree. The MILB, I think they themselves, Binghamton Rumble Ponies. See, now you haven't done about the Runnable Ponies until you've dealt with the Utica Unicorns, bro. You don't know nothing about these Utica Unicorns here in Michigan.
The unicorn.
So you know the Jimmy John's Field that's out here on M59, right?
Super Bowl should be a holiday. Yeah.
Hands down,
Right, exactly.
hands down, Super Bowl should be a holiday. But I think that they should transition to note taking from the MILB because they have these fun, charismatic names that I think are just enjoyable for the whole family. Now, I'm not telling anybody this is not a family show. We do say shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, fart, turd, and twat. Those are all regulated by the FCC. But if we have to be wholesome, family fun, take a note from the MILB. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Paige. Again, as I said earlier, we've been known each other since 2005, so 16 years now. We went to school together. We've definitely partied together. I just want to say it's funny because like myself, I was in one fraternity, Britt was in another, and we would both be at these parties, and we would both be in the same position of just people watching.
Mm-hmm.
And we were always the ones. And the funny part was the rest of our brothers, they would be battling each other out. They'd be at each other's heads, and both him and I'd be sitting there looking at each other like,
you ready to break this up?
Yeah, like,
yeah.
So, and then we met back up at our former employer. Well, he's my former employer at the jail. Mr. Paige was our rec leader, and I was a supervisor. And here we are now. We've kept in touch ever since I left, and now you're rolling out heavyweight golf. So tell us a little bit about heavyweight golf.
All right, heavyweight golf. The reason why I started heavyweight golf is because I was trying to teach myself how to play golf, and you had a lot of these instructors or YouTubers who were on the skinnier side and asking me to do what they do on a backswing just wasn't cutting it. So I tried to adapt and do things that they do, and I was like, you know what, this is not gonna work. So I had to figure it out on my own, and I'm just trying to bring it to anybody else who wants the advice, so it won't take them as long as I did to learn how to swing around a little extra room, a little extra material in the front. So,
now, how long have you been playing?
This is probably my seventh. This is my eighth season. My eighth season playing. Okay. I had clubs, but they were just in the garage or in the basement. I just never really swung them. Maybe go to the driving range here and there, but actually taking it serious, I would say this is my eighth season playing.
Nice.
But yeah.
Now,
so,
no, go right ahead.
Go ahead.
Floor is yours. No, I got nothing. This is your show, bro. Just because it's got my name on it, it's your show.
Okay, all right. So I was, like I said, trying to learn how to swing, how to, and I'm competitive. I'm very competitive. I've been playing sports my whole life, basketball, track, baseball, everything, and I needed to fill that void once I graduated from college. It was the competitiveness is like, I need to do something. So I joined the bowling league. The bowling league is only during the winter time. So I had to figure out something during the summertime. So once I started golfing and how challenging it is, I began to, realize like, okay, this is it. I want to get good at golf, because you wake up one morning, you can hit it a mile, and then the next morning you can't hit it 5 feet. So right. I'm like, I love it. I love the challenge, because all it takes is one shot, and then you're like, wow, I did that, and then you keep coming back. So, that's pretty much the reason why I started the channel,
Mhm.
and that's where I'm going with it.
No, that's a beautiful thing, and I I definitely admire your aspiration to want to do this because let's be honest, it's ever since we've known each other, we've both have been bigger fellas. I've never known you to be small. You've never known me to be small, and that's one of the things where it's just like you taking that idea of heavyweight golf and running with it. That's awesome. And I mean, as we were talking a little bit in the green room, like I'm definitely you said you've only been playing for the last 8 years. So I recently just picked my clubs up for the first time in 12 years. I played a little bit when we were in college because I don't know if you remember, there was a small little 9-hole course just off of campus. And me and Casey and Brad, I don't know if you remember them, we would go and play all the time. But it wasn't really us playing. It was we each get a 30 bomb, we each get a cart, and we go until we can, not see straight, basically. And it was one of those things where I enjoyed it, where the fact of the matter is, like you said, is like those times where you just get that one shot and you don't even really remember what the fuck you did, and you're trying to like play it back in your head. Like I just remember this one shot that I had off of the first hole. It was like I had just this slow drawback, and I came through and I connected, and I almost came through with a Griffey swing where I came off with one hand, and it drove the motherfucker a mile. And I was just like, wow, this is fucking awesome. So I go to the next hole. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna try and muscle this one, see how fucking far I can get it. Fucking shake the shit out of it. And it's just like, I wish I could have more, time to take, and now that I'm an adult and now I've picked it back up and I went and played with Rich in New York, I've got that itch again, and I want to learn more. And that's the thing is I don't have the best clubs. Personally, I've got a Night driver. It was from Kmart. It was definitely a blue light special. I got 2 top flight fairway woods, and the only thing better than top flight fairway woods is top flight security of the world, Craig. Then my neighbor, lo and behold, he blessed me with a gently used, basically brand new set of TaylorMade irons, and then I got a Nike putter. Like it's a hodgepodge set, but I know until if I ever make it to the tour, I'm never gonna have a straight Callaway set like that. It's gonna be hodgepodge here and there. But I just enjoy it. And to me, the other day I went and I'm gonna go play some. I think I'm gonna go drop in and play a round tomorrow. That's the plan, actually. Is I went to the range, and I haven't been to the range in such a long time, and just throwing my AirPods in and just putting on some 2000s hip hop and just sitting there and hitting an extra large bucket of balls. Like it was so calming and relaxing. But again, the idea of when I was out playing with Rich in New York, as much as him and I were having fun, it was still that competitive nature where it's, again, I completely see the idea of where it's a gentleman's game, but that competitive nature can still be there amongst the talking shit. And I know you regularly go on trips with some of my former coworkers as well. You're still with coworkers. Like, what are some of the greatest places that you've played? Like, what are some of the nicest courses you've played on?
Here in Michigan, the nicest courses I played on is TPC courses in Dearborn and Ann Arbor. Both of those courses are really nice. The Detroit Country Club down in Detroit, where the Rocket Mortgage Classic was. And those were great courses as well. But there's some courses up north by like Traverse City and Gaylord that I want to play that I haven't had a chance to play yet. But I try to play a different course much as I can every time, because I don't like playing the same courses just because we have so many here in Michigan. And in Michigan, our courses have a chance to heal. So courses down in like Florida and Arizona, they play on those all year round. So they don't get a chance to heal. So they're not as nice as everybody thinks they are because they're in Florida. So the greens are brown and dried out because of the sun. It's hitting them all winter long. And down there I played what was the name of the course? It was El Campeon.
Okay.
I see somebody said Black Page, Black Beth.
Beth Page
Yeah.
Black next week.
Yeah. So the course is down there. It's called El Campeon. It's a very nice course. The LPGA played on this course, but
All
it
right.
was very beat up. It was sandy because they got to put a lot of sand on their greens because of the sun to try to protect them. But
Okay.
I would say the Detroit Country Club and the TPC courses, and Dearborn and Ann Arbor was the three of my top favorites.
Nice. So yeah, I played Olivet Country Club, and I can't remember the one that Rich took me to on Long Island. That's it. And Olivet Country Club, I would go in a pair of flip flops, torn up pair of cargo shorts, and a cutoff T-shirt. And my flip flops would end up off most of the time because I was diving in the water to get free balls because I was a cheap ass college kid who could barely afford natural light. And now I've upgraded to Pabst Blue Ribbon, but that's about it. But so what do you got in your bag? I mean, I gave a description of what I got in my bag, and again, it's definitely nothing miraculous, but it helps me get from one hole to the next of a good game of whack fuck. And what does the great golf ball whacker guy or Mr. Heavyweight Golf himself, what do you have in your bag? What are you playing with these days?
So right now I have a lot of Titleist.
Okay.
The reason why I have a lot of Titleist in my bag is because they hold their value. So it's kind of like a Honda or foreign cars. They hold their value. So when it's time for me to sell it, whenever I get done with it, I can still sell it for something close to its value. So I have a lot of Titleist. So my wedges are Titleist. They're 2 years old. SM7s. AP1 is my irons, all Titleist. My drivers are like 4 years old. It's
Okay.
what is this? A 917. And I have a Scotty Cameron in the bag as well. But
All right.
with that Scotty Cameron, I'm about to take that out the bag because I don't know what Scotty did to me, or
or what you did to Scotty,
what I did to Scotty, because it's just not working. So I went and bought this out of Salvation Army putter for $40, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me in my life when it comes to putting. It's the ugliest thing you ever seen, but I don't care as long as it gets to the cup.
So it's funny. Rich talks about it. Now, have you had any issues with your T200s and their durability, or are they all easily broken over the knee? Because Rich has that problem where they just happen to accidentally break over his knee.
No, I haven't broken any. I have broken a few heads though, because it's me slamming them on the ground. The head came loose, but no breaking across the knee because it's hard to recover from a break across the knee. You can get the head glued back on, but not over the knee. Yeah, you have to get a whole new shaft. Then I'd really be upset in.
So, as you know, you mentioned all these wonderful brands that that you use and all your clubs and so on and so forth. Now, what kind of gear do you use? When I talk about gear, those are your tools. Your clubs are your tools. Those are the tools of the trade. Those are what you need. There's no coming back from that. So those are your tools. Now, what type of gear do you like to use? What do you like to wear? What type of bag do you have? Are there certain tees, certain balls that you like to use?
Okay. When it comes to the ball, I have Pro V1s, but I have a new crush on a new ball from Callaway called the super soft. They have a finish on it. It's a matte red finish that I like to use because I like the feel, and it helps me around the greens, get my spin on the ball. So
if I didn't
that's the
know any
ball that
better,
I use
if somebody
now.
is literally tuning in right now, and I don't mean to cut you off, we are talking golf, people. We are talking golf.
Okay.
Nothing inappropriate as of yet, but trust me, we are family oriented right now. We are talking golf balls. Just to put that out there. But no, I can
put that
understand.
out there. Yeah. So,
But it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned it because it's just like, and I don't mean to change the subject, but that was one of the reasons I wanted a Nike putter. Is one of those things. It's just, to me, it completed the thing. It completed the set. And like you're saying, that you got a new crush and the way that it works and the way that it almost like it completes your game. It's that one little tweak that you did. So what else you rolling with? What type of gloves? What type of tees? What kind of bag? Shoes? Stuff like that.
Okay, shoes. I'm pretty much Nike.
All right.
I'm a brand whore. So
Me too.
Whatever Tiger wore. Tiger is my favorite golfer. Whatever Tiger wore, I wore. If Tiger switched over to Fila tomorrow, I wear Fila tomorrow. So
now, I'm not gonna lie. If they had a pair of Grant Hill '96 golf shoes, I'd rock them bitches. I'd rock them bitches hard.
That's the thing. So they have this new. It's called
golfkicks.co. Oh, I know.
Yes, golf.
I know.
And I turned a pair of my Jordan 11s into golf shoes, and I'm any shoe that's you know how we get to that level where has a little crease, but I can still wear it. They're golf shoes now. They're golf shoes.
I'm gonna have to jump on that because we're gonna slowly transition to this brand piece and talk about shoes more. I was going to mention that as soon as we got to that point of the golfkicks.co. I know it's a company out of Colorado. You can get them on Amazon. Mm-hmm. So if you need to get them in 2 days, you need a quick pair of golf shoes. I think they average around $30, but you can take anything and turn it into a golf shoe. Any sneaker that is out there, you can turn it into a golf shoe. You can take any Jordan, any Air Force, any shoe, even if it has a massive 360 air bubble, you really don't need it when you're playing golf because it's not like you're running and jumping. You just need the grip into the grass. Personally, I've seen a couple of your videos that you've posted through TikTok and Instagram that you have. You're wearing some Air Max 90s, black with the white swoosh.
Mm-hmm.
Those I actually have the all white with the black swoosh. I tried those on, and they felt like clouds to me. And I was so indecisive of, dumping the money for a cheap pair of Nike golf shoes. Cause like you said, you're a brand whore. I'm a brand whore too. And there was one of the things with Nike not making clubs anymore. I figured the putter was the best bet because it was something that I'll always use. I'll finish every hole with that brand that I love so much. Personally, title when it comes to hats, again, you're a big fellow yourself, but I think I have an even bigger dome than you do. When it comes to buying a nice golf hat, I can't find one that fits my fat fucking head. So, like, I had to have one made, and I had not Titleist, but titties. Titties put on my hat. And because guess what? I'll never be sponsored by Titleist, but I'll be sponsored by a good set of titties any day.
Exactly.
But yeah, so it's just one of those things. Like, and then like my polo, it just happens to come from Amazon. Like, it's just again and I don't know if you mentioned earlier, or I know you mentioned to me, are you really thinking about turning, besides the coaching and this, that, and the other, turning it into a full-on brand on top of the social media piece of turning it into possible clothing, accessories, and things like that?
Yes, I am. See, the thing about the market for bigger guys, whenever we see a shirt that we love or like, we get it immediately, no matter what the price is, because we need the shirt to fit. So the smaller sizes, the nice, splash of paint, flowery colored golf shirts.
Mhm.
That's that's super cool. Everybody's like, oh, I want that shirt. Never in a size bigger than a 2X. So I'm coming out with a brand for heavyweight golf that starts at a 3X. So,
Yeah. Fuck all you small
we still,
motherfuckers.
yeah. So we might throw in maybe a 2X or extra large, but nothing smaller than that. So
Special order only.
special order only. Yeah. So just for that reason, it's so hard for us to have good looking apparel. So, but when we do find one, it's the most plain shirt, all one solid color, no design, and we sitting here looking like the typical senior golfer, who's on his golf team that everybody has the same shirt on, So we don't have, so it's definitely what I'm really pushing hard for right now to come out with my own brand and have all the good prints and golf shirts for everybody, my size. That's we want to look good because my motto is you look good, you play good.
You play good. Yeah, no, I was trying to channel my inner Dion the other day. So the XL golf shirts are not XL and double XLs are too big. It's right in the middle, so I end up looking like bloated. Bro, so that was funny thing was him and I the other day, it was when we went to go play, he was like, we got to go stop somewhere. I was like, I got to go. He's like, I got to get tees. I was like, okay. When we get there, he's like, I actually need a shirt. My sleeves are too long. This, that, and the other. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you never realize something like that. And again, it takes me back to the days of playing football. It was like, it was all about that look. If you felt like you were looking good, you were going to play good, so on and so forth. And I agreed with that. And that was my mentality when I went out to play with him was, I know I'm going to play like dog shit. I know I'm going to play like complete dog shit. But at least if I feel like I look good and I know I'm going to have a good time and relax and just don't give a shit. So it's one of those things that I'm very admirable that you want to do that. And I know I've mentioned to you, like I've thought about doing that too. And it was funny because I actually talked to Rich about it when I seen you posted your heavyweight golf and things like that I thought about doing like a Nacho Average golfer thing. But one of the things I want to start with is the accessories. Like, do you have any special covers for any of your clubs? Stuff like that.
You said special coverage?
Yeah, covers, like, any like golf club covers.
Oh, yeah, golf club cover. Yes, definitely. Yeah. That's definitely the first one of the first pieces that's gonna come out, club head covers, hats, because hats is more universal thing, and then like ball markers.
Ball markers would be huge.
Ball markers, because everybody use them. Yeah, everybody use them and everybody lose them. So yeah, so those are the three.
So one of the things is, and my mother has a side business of where she takes people who have had loved ones who have happened to pass on, God rest their souls, and take a piece of clothing of theirs and she turns them into teddy bears and pillows as keepsakes to give back to those people to have a memory of them. That way they can keep on to them. And one of the things is, and I thought about this, and there's a company here in Michigan called Scott Golf. They're based out of Detroit. They also work hand in hand with Sneakerhead Golf Company and Jersey Club Cover Company, where they take all these jerseys and sneaker-based ideas and turn them into golf club covers. I can imagine there's thousands of people who would love to have somebody that they golfed with, a loved one, so on and so forth, and have a shirt that they wore turned into a golf club cover to have with them when they're on the course, to always know that that person is with them. And that's something I think I want to incorporate with my Nacho Average golfer, because that's not your average thing that somebody would be able to just go outright and purchase, and it would be a custom product made just for them and their clubs. So awesome. I think that's something I want to jump in on myself. So we're talking about Mr. Heavyweight Golf here. If you guys want to go ahead and follow him on either TikTok and Instagram, you can find him here. Right now we're talking about golf swag, you know, things that you wear. And you know, I mentioned I have Air Max 90s. You got the Air Max 90s. So in here in Michigan, there's another golf brand. And I'm coming to realize there is 1,000 golf brands out there. I never realized there was so much branding and swag that's going on. We have one that's coming out here that is out here in Michigan called Eastside Golf, and they are about to drop a collaboration with the Air Jordan brand in these Retro 4 golf shoes. Right now, they're up for raffle. You can enter the raffle. The raffle, I believe, closes in 2 days. But here's these shoes. It has their logo on the tongue, a portrait with the Eastside Golf logo on the bottom. These are the Retro 4 shoes that are a golf shoe that is in their custom colorway. When I seen these, I said, I got to have them. I got to have them. They're a beautiful, beautiful shoe. And it to me, again, we're talking about swag on the golf course. Like, to me, wearing an Air Jordan on the golf course, or even wearing the Nike shoe, being a brand whore, as we say we both are, like that shoe is basically, to me, like a holy grail. Like I have to own it. And it's a shame because I know I have no chance in hell of actually probably owning it unless I pay resale, which is going to be out the ass because I know they're retailing it. What, I think like $275.
Easy. That's starting off. When they come out, once they come out, they definitely probably go higher.
Oh, for sure. But I think one
resale is $225, right?
Oh yeah, I think you know what? It's in between $225 and $270. That's the base price if you win the chance to buy them. That's what just blows my mind. I have to win a chance to buy them, and one of the things of like what blows my mind with sneaker culture these days. And as everybody can see behind me, I have a sneaker collection, and Mr. Heavyweight Golf himself has quite the sneaker collection. And it's funny because the Retro 4, which is what that golf shoe is modeled after, is one of my favorite Jordans. Not my all-time favorite Jordan, but it's one of my favorite Jordans. The Retro 4 Military Blue, which I would love to get another pair of those and turn those into a pair of golf shoes, just because it's the Lions colorway. Mm-hmm. Throughout your years, and I know you said you've turned a couple pairs of Jordans and these into a pair of golf shoes. Besides golf shoes, I'm assuming you love gym shoes yourself. Well, I know you love gym shoes because you've told me we've seen them. I've seen them. What is hands down your favorite shoe currently in your collection and why?
My favorite Jordan has to be, I mean, this is only right with the new movie coming out, Space Jam. You know, it has to be the 11th. I mean, because of Jordan wore the Space Jams, the shoe that he wore in Space Jam was like my all-time favorite. And
now,
I have these. These are not the ones he wore in Space Jam, but these are by far my favorite shoe. I can probably wear these in any color. High top or lows.
Lows.
So
now,
so the 11s are definitely my top one.
Okay, so now you related it to Space Jam, and it's funny that you mentioned that because now, have you watched the new one yet?
Yes, I have. I actually went to the movies to see it.
Okay.
I did.
Your thoughts?
I did. Some things shouldn't be touched.
Fucked with? Yeah,
I mean, I understand where they're going. You know, I understand what they was trying to go for.
Yeah.
And I want to not see when I see in the movie, I need to go back and watch Jordan and see was his acting as bad as LeBron. It
I don't
feels
think
like
it
I don't
was.
know if
I
it was a
don't think it
script.
was that bad.
I don't know if it was a script or it was his actual ad libbing of some of the lines he was saying. Come on, boy, you got to
Mhm.
get up here and make this shot. Like, come on, it just didn't feel natural. It felt like he was just trying to
No,
be somebody who he wasn't. And
right.
the old Space Jam, it felt like Jordan was just being Jordan. Had the dude following him around, trying to get him to be comfortable, and all that good stuff that was in Space Jam. And it felt like their other annoying guy wasn't like the other annoying guy, in
No,
the
yeah.
original.
Well, I mean, after watching The Last Dance, I definitely don't see that as Jordan being Jordan. Jordan was very cutthroat. But it's funny that you mentioned that the Space Jam shoe itself was your favorite. Now, what cracks me up with how shoes are released today, so what LeBron wore while he played the game, like if you go back and look at the original Space Jam, you had the nines, which is the ones that Bugs and them had to go back and pick up for him to practice in. He wore the 11s during the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one that made a debut in that movie that nobody really pays attention to was the ones that Bill Murray were wearing, which were the twos.
Yes.
So I love the twos, and those are one of the ugliest shoes out there, but I love them because I think it's just because nobody else likes them. But the fact of the matter is what they're now releasing as the Space Jam New Legacy shoe was never even in the fucking movie. It's a LeBron 8, mind you, which I'll even just whip one of those out real quick. So it's this shoe right here in a different colorway, which the shoe was never even in the fucking movie. So how are you telling me that this is the Space Jam shoe? Like, that's the shit that I don't understand. At least the one that they marketed for Jordan and everything was in the movie. He wore it. It made it seem like it was a game-worn thing. And it's funny that you said that the 11 was yours, and it was because of Space Jam. One of mine in my collection that's my favorite, hands down, it's been released on 2 occasions. Once it was released at the 10-year anniversary of Space Jam. Then it was released again at the 15-year anniversary. It hasn't been released since then. It's not in the movie, but it's themed after the movie, but it's my all-time favorite Jordan in this colorway. So my all-time favorite Jordan is the Jordan 1. So it was the one that he wore back in 84, 85 when he was drafted. So I was born in 85, hence the reason it's my favorite Jordan. I mean, it's to the point that it's my favorite. Again, I have them tattooed on my bicep. That's why they're my favorite Jordan. Is the Retro 1 Hair Jordan in the Bugs Bunny colorway that has the Bugs Bunny Jumpman on the tongue, which they had in a colorway which was made famous by the Retro 6s that came in this colorway.
Right.
Those hands down are one of my favorite Jordans of all time. Still brand new. They released, I think, 7 years ago, that release, and they were 5 years before that for the original one. Hands down, one of my favorite shoes. Still haven't touched them. Those are ones that I would love, even just any Jordan one, I would love to turn into a golf shoe just because, yeah, they do offer them, but that simple flat sole, like the dunk that's offered, is just like none other. And to me, even when they are creased, they still look good. I don't know what's your opinion on a one, but to me, when they're creased, they still look good. So
the thing about the 11, it's hard for them to get creased because of the patent leather that comes around it. But once the 11s are creased, golf shoes.
Golf shoes. Now, when it comes to installing those cleats, is it difficult?
Okay.
Is it difficult? That's my question. Is it difficult to install them?
Okay, so it's two ways to install them. I did both. You have the one with the drill. You can use the drill bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't prefer you use that. I prefer you to use a hand. They give you a tool. Use the hand tool. Your arms might look like Popeye afterwards, but because it's a lot, you got to really tighten them to make sure they lock in place. and but I prefer use your hand. Once you put like 2 or 3 in, then you get into a groove and it becomes easier. But the first 2 or 3, trying to get it to knowing exactly where to put them at on the shoe is pretty tough. But once you get the first, second one in, you're golden.
Now, what the issue that you ran into with the drill, was it that you just went in too deep that you could like end up damaging the sole, or?
No, you won't damage the sole. See, with the drill bit, once it goes in, it only allows probably this much into your sole, but it keeps spinning, so it just
Gotcha.
it strips the hole, and then as soon as you step down on it on the ground, it pops right out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
and you know the rubber that's on it, you know, once you keep going past it, it's keeps spinning. It just
you're not allowing it to have any sort of bite into the material for the cleat itself to grip on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm getting at your point now.
Right.
So another thing that we've talked about in relation to both of us is that we're both diehard Lions fans. And I've been a Lions fan since as long as I can remember. I know you are. We both have custom jerseys with our names and numbers on them and stuff like that. And I mean, even this year, we actually, the best thing we've got going for us right now is the fact that we have a player being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Like, it's a win-win situation. And then the season starts and we're probably back to square zero where it's like, we don't know what the fuck's going on. How do you feel about our coach that we got, Dan Campbell, Mr. I drink 2 venti pikes with 2 shots of espresso in each every morning?
I love him. I mean, I love that being a diehard Lions fan and hearing the national reporters and ESPN and all of them say that, okay, this was a good pick. The first round pick, the Lions, it chose Penny Sewell, and this was a great pick. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with this national acknowledgement that it was a good pick and it was a good hire, and the people that he's putting around him, as far as the coaches. Anthony Lynn is a former head coach, so he has some experience at head coach. And then on top of that, the people he has that's helping consult him and behind him. So I love what they're doing, and but I feel like I say this every new hire, every time the Lions do. So I mean, this time it's different. I'm telling you right now, it's different.
You know what? I can't help but feel that way. Again, with us both being Lions fans, we both are, we're both expecting great things, as we always do. But we're also not surprised for heartbreak to come, because at the end of the day, it's what we're so used to. And it's really super unfortunate that we always have to be ready for heartbreak. Like, everybody's like, so what do you think the team's going to do this year? And it's like, if we go 8-8, I'll be happy. Oh, you think they're going to get 500? I said, fuck no. I never think they're really going to get 500, but if they do, that'd be fucking awesome, because it's every year we're somehow going to just completely shit the bed, and it never fails. So Brady, got his 7th ring. He brought Gronk back with him. And everybody said when we drafted him, TJ Hawkinson was supposed to be the next Gronk. Do you think he's going to be able to pan out this year? I mean, he's been injured before. The only thing I think he's really got going for him right now is the fact that this dude looks like the Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz. That's literally the only thing he's got going for him right now. Other than that, like,
Yeah.
if he's trying to channel his inner Dan Campbell, because that's what everybody keeps comparing him to, is his hairstyle is just like Dan Campbell's was when he was here in 2007. I don't want to think about fucking 2007. Everybody knows 2007 was the first year that a team ever went 0-16. Like, to me, you're spreading bad juju onto me. Do you think this dude's going to pan out?
Yeah. But yes, I think he's going to pan out. It all depends on Jared Goff. Jared Goff, he's known to throw into the tight end. But if Jared Goff plays with a chip on his shoulder and plays like I know he can, I seen him play when he was with the Rams. I think he can pan out because right now he doesn't have anybody else to throw it to. You have the rookie, we have a few other receivers that's trying to make a name for themselves. That we picked up, Perriman and all, and who was the other guy we picked up, receiver wise. Yeah. So we don't really have too many people to throw to. So he has opportunity. So he just has to take the best take the opportunity and run with it.
Well, I mean, and when you talk about Goff when he played for the Rams, and I the only thing I can think about is that Monday night shootout between him and Patrick Mahomes, where that's, and I'm saying that if he can play like that and produce like that, because that's one of the things that everybody asks. So, what do you think about our quarterback? I have no fucking clue. It depends on who shows up. And don't get me wrong. And part of me is, and this is very hard for me to say and digest. I'm kind of a Rams fan right now because I want to see Stafford get his ring. I've never been in a position before where I've seen somebody been a part of a program that I love so much go somewhere else where I'm like, I really think I want this guy to get what he deserves, because I hate to say it, our regime never did what they were supposed to do. Rich, apparently he's getting into it with they're having like all out brawls in practice right now. Apparently he got into a brawl today. But yeah, like I guess it was not the first one that he's had, but I guess it's just like things are getting dirty in practice, not dirty in practice, but getting nasty in practice, which is just like, to me, I think, again, like you said with Dan Campbell, I think Dan Campbell's bringing to the table what Matt Patricia was all bark about. Because to me, Matt Patricia was a bunch of bark and no bite. I have a feeling, and again, I think it's, again, bringing it back to 2007, when we went 0-16, when he was here, like, he knows what it is to be a part, and I hate to put it this way, just like how Jim Harbaugh was supposed to be a Michigan man and bring that mentality of knowing what this is like and so on and so forth back to the table. I think the fact that he knows of how much of a blue-collar town and mentality that the city of Detroit has within its football team, I think Dan Campbell's going to bring that back, and I think that mentality is coming through in practices, and I think there are going to be good things. And I know we're starting to talk about specific players, which now leads us into the idea of fantasy sports and fantasy football. Paige, you and I have we've made a pact that we would never play in a league together. We always bounce information off of one another, and it's always been super beneficial. And I will stick to the point, we will never play against one another. And I know the one year we did fantasy basketball, which was just a complete shit show. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I ended up winning, but I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I think it was just because I had LeBron. But what are you looking at this year, fantasy football wise? What are some of your hot takes? What are some of your sleepers that you're thinking that are out there? If you don't want to give any sort of information, because if you got people tuning in from your league, give me what you want to give me, or give me what you want the people to think that they need to hear. Because at the end of the day, you're on top of you being Mr. Heavyweight Golf, you are definitely Mr. Fantasy Football Championship. How many championships you got?
4.
That's
4
3 more than I do.
championships.
You got 4
Four
championships in a
championships.
span of how many years?
5.
See, like, yeah, you're
5 years.
you got your shit together. So
Yeah, 5 years. Let's see. My first. Hold on. Let me see. My first. Actually, 6 years. 6 years. My first year in the league, I won in 2014.
okay.
No, 2015. I'm sorry. 2015. Yeah, and that's when Odell Beckham had first got here, and he didn't play until week 6,
Mm-hmm.
and then week 6 took off all the way to the championship. I was leaning on him the whole week, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was, in your fantasy draft, whoever was at the top of the fantasy that the experts was saying that to pick, I was picking and going straight down. So I could have just auto picked, but I didn't know how to auto pick. So yeah, and I've been loving it ever since. I just love the fact that the research you have to do, and some people say you really haven't had the knack for football. You don't. You don't really have to have a knack for it. You just have to know what the volume is best. You take volume over anything. So let's see. Hot takes. Aaron Rodgers is playing.
Everybody loves Aaron. I mean,
but if they love him, and I was going to downgrade Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones if Aaron Rodgers didn't play. I mean, I'm just telling you that was one take. I have him, Devontae Adams, as a possible keeper in the league, but I went ahead and kept Zeke instead, just because I didn't have a doubt that Zeke is still going to be the man in Dallas. So.
Now you mentioned with Devontae, I'm still here. I cut my mic off because I had to burp. I do apologize. With Devontae Adams, now with Randall Cobb coming back, now do you think that's going to help or hinder Devontae Adams?
Help, because now you can't bracket. You can't bracket Devontae Adams. So what happens is on the other side of the ball. So last year they had MVS.
Okay.
Yeah, they had MVS.
I know exactly what you're talking
about. And he didn't do anything. He couldn't catch hold. So what defense was doing was, even though they tried to bracket Devontae Adams, they couldn't. So it really doesn't matter who's on the other side of the ball. The chemistry that Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers have is by far the best in the league as far as chemistry goes. And now you're seeing Aaron Rodgers bringing over the mentality of LeBron to the NFL. Picking his team he wants to play for, and
I can't disagree with you. And I can't disagree with you. And the thing is, now that was going to lead into this, and I know it has nothing to do with fantasy football, but to me, it all does. How did you feel, or how did you take what he had to say about the what was going on at the front office and the comments that he made with the idea of, like, Green Bay is not a vacation spot? People that he's worked with multiple NFL players. He's worked with, numerous people who are coming to Green Bay to play. They're not coming here to vacation. Where in Ndamukong Suh, let's be honest, he went to Miami to get a paycheck and live in Miami. You're coming to Green Bay to win a championship and play with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, at the end of the day, like, he's not wrong. And everybody was like, he kind of tore into the front office, but I'm like, the front office fucking needed that shit, because, and the laundry list of people that he talked about that they just let walk, or not even, or offered them subpar contracts, that were people that would have helped build another championship for that city. I mean, let's be honest, as much as you and I both dislike Green Bay itself because they're one of the Lions' biggest rivals, and they always kick the shit out of us every year, that's where football started. The fucking trophy is named after their main head coach. Like, they were the first champion. They were the first repeat champion. Like, it was those things, like, he wasn't wrong. And I agree, bringing that mentality of building his team. But at the same time, let's be honest, Brady just did it in fucking Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So
What's
what's this Patriot way that people were talking about? Because I'll tell you right now, they tried to bring the Patriot way to here to Detroit, and we realized that shit didn't fucking work.
No, it did not. It did not.
So at the end of the day, as much as everybody fucking hates Brady,
right? And Bob Quinn just got hired somewhere too. And I heard that, and I was just like, why? Who would pick him up after what he did to us for the last 4 years he was here?
I mean, the city of Detroit is the only place where you can go 9-7 and still lose your fucking job. It doesn't make any sense, because I had no issue with what Caldwell was doing. I personally wish Caldwell may have had a little more bark to his bite, but he worked. But at that same time, that's not how that man worked. And he was a Super Bowl winning coach, so you can't really argue with the fact that what he was doing, that it wasn't working. It was. It just wasn't working at the pace that they saw fit, or that, let's just put it this way, fucking Bob Quinn put as a pipe dream in their eyes. He fed the Fords a hot, steaming pile of painted pink dog shit so that they thought it was fucking pretty. But again, at the end of the day, he fed them dog shit. And it, as you can see, it didn't work out, because, I mean, I had the luxury of even going to one of the practices. And as much as screaming and yelling as Matt Patricia did, it's like you're talking to grown-ass men that are going to end up smacking the fuck out of you. But the only reason they hadn't is because they don't want to catch a case. It was a shame that they wasted so much money.
When it comes, right, and when it comes to coaching, you have to, you can't come in super strict and real firm coming right in. You can't do that. You have to kind of build that rapport with them, like they taught us, down at the jail, or with the residents. You can't just come in on, because it's once you lose that trust with the player, and that relationship is burned. The player is not going to play to their full potential. Because with the relationship, and especially not for you, he lost his locker room very early, and us outsiders not knowing what's going on inside, we still thought like, no, he's from the Patriots. He has a plan. This is the fire that we needed for a coach to come in and put a fire up under this defense, and yeah, that's all fine and dandy. But back to the Aaron Rodgers thing, like it's a business at the end of the day. If Aaron Rodgers said the wrong thing to the wrong person, he's out of here. He's out of here. So he just used his platform to his advantage, because they did the same thing with Brett Favre. They drafted a quarterback about to replace him, which was Aaron Rodgers, and so he knew what the deal was. So he was like, "I'm about to. So this is what y'all gonna do? All right, because I've seen this before."
It's almost like the Drew Bledsoe situation, the only man to lose his job twice to injury.
Exactly. Yeah.
So to get back on fantasy football, I know we got on a little bit of a tangent there, but I mean, it was definitely in relation. So you're talking about Devontae Adams. Like, who do you see working out in the idea of, running back or tight end positions? Like, where do you see who are you looking at to be top tier or possibly a sleeper?
For a tight end, you said?
Tight end, running back, anything across the board.
Well, just in case some of my fellow members are listening in my leagues, I'll give you a few, which really not sleepers, but Najee Harris, I heard he's been having a good camp. He's a running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
I believe in Coughlin. Coughlin, he always has a great running back. As you can see, you had Le'Veon Bell, you had Connor. Some of the great, you have a great offensive line, so it doesn't matter. I probably can get back there and can average 5 yards a carry. Yes, I can.
Right.
But yeah, Najee Harris is a big one. I'm not too sure on Jonathan Taylor with the injury to Carson Wentz. Because if you don't have,
I heard they're looking to bring in Nick Folk again
at quarterback.
They're talking about bringing in Nick Foles, or I heard
that
Mariota.
Mariota, okay. Philip Rivers just quoted. He said he hasn't closed the door either of coming back. So
the only reason
I'll leave this
fucking
football team I'm coaching.
First off, he's the only man with the closest amount of kids to fucking Antonio Cromartie. He's realizing, oh fuck, I gotta be a dad now. These motherfuckers are making me pull my hair out. That's why he's like, I'm about to come back to the fucking league.
I'll go back to the league. Yeah. He didn't want to leave anyways. He just kind of got pushed out. He said, but y'all playing didn't work out, so I'll come back, just hint. That's what it is. Let me see. Deep sleepers. I will have to go with the deep. His last name Sermon. From the 49ers, the running back, the rookie running back that they just I think I want to say Trey Sermon.
Mm-hmm.
He's a running back from the 49ers, and the 49ers has a great offensive line as well. But he has a few people in front of him that's, might cause him. He might not be able to get the starting position until week 4 or 5. But week 4 or 5 fantasy is nothing. I've been 0-5 and still able to pull it out, make a turnaround. So that's a person you would definitely want to stash on, on your bench.
Yeah, you definitely. It's Trey Sermon. The only reason I wanted to make sure that was Trey Sermon because I know they drafted Trey Lance, but I wanted to make sure you were right on that name. Yeah, it was Trey Sermon. Yeah. Because Mostert's always been decent. Mostert's always been a great running back for me personally. The last 2 years. That's the biggest problem is he can't stay healthy. So. Honestly, the only reason I ended up winning my championship 2 years ago was because I was lucky enough to pick up Lamar Jackson in the 11th round. And in my league, I don't know how your league works out. We have a super flex where you can put a quarterback in it, a second flex. So we have your main quarterback, and then you basically throw in your secondary quarterback. And between him and Josh Allen that year, always being able to run out the ball, that's what got me my championship. So, what do you think is going to go on?
See,
No, go ahead.
No, what I was just about to piggyback on what you just said about the Superflex League. I've been hearing great things about the Superflex League. That's about to be the new norm of like default roster for most fantasy leagues, just because the quarterback position is so important. Why not make it the most important in a fantasy league as well? And some people think, going to auction, doing auction drafts, that's more research, more things you have to do, prep for. But doing super flex leagues, is more of an easier transition from, because it used to be standard, 6-point touchdowns, no points per catch. But now it transitioned over to PPR, which is point per reception. And then, that's more of the norm now. But now it's starting to move towards Superflex as well. I'm not in any Superflex leagues, but I'm definitely be open to trying Superflex league. I might even start one next year. I'm thinking about it and debating it right now.
I like it. We also I don't plan on it. I didn't even want to ask. It didn't even cross my mind. So on top of the Superflex, we dropped our kickers. We don't even have kickers in our league. and which is it's another thing because it's like those would either most of the time it was killing us in our games. It wasn't they weren't even helping us. So we got rid of those and just basically added the Superflex piece, and which made it nice but then we keep it at a cap of you can only have 3 quarterbacks, which is nice. You kind of got to hope that one only because then you can't monopolize the quarterback position. But like when I was basically going in between, I had Roethlisberger, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. And then basically, when it came to those 2 bye weeks, it was either Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen in my super flex. But again, it was just with them and their ability to run the ball. That's what got me my championship. So I really couldn't complain. Now, what defenses are standing out at you? Like, what's one that you should just completely stay away from that you think everybody's going to want to jump on? And then what's one that you're looking at that's looking pretty, but not everybody else is seeing?
Well, you have your top defense where, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, they were very, very great last year, because with Ben going through his issues, and they were still able to hold people to, 12, 14 points a game, which was amazing. I would say, but everybody goes for Pittsburgh. I would say a sneaky defense will be Miami.
Okay.
with Miami done down there, everybody's used to Miami being in the conference with the Patriots. A lot of people overlooked Miami and what they're doing down there. They were sneaky good, but also with Miami, they're having some issues with the corner. Forgot his name. He's in the contract negotiations and trying to sit out.
Isn't it Xavier? I think is his last name.
Is it Grimes? Xavier, yeah, that's it. Yeah, Xavier. So he's having some issues with the front office. If he sits out or is disgruntled, that's going to mess up the chemistry in the defense. So that'd be something you have to watch out for. But a defense that's not on anybody's radar, I would say the Patriots. And the Patriots. Washington D is scary too. But a lot of people know about Washington. The top 4 defenses are, the Washington, you have 49ers, Pittsburgh, and I want to say maybe the Colts. Colts is up there too, give or take. But the Patriots are getting a lot of their players who opted out last year. They're coming back because, they feel more safe and more comfortable playing. So that's a defense that you have to, Belichick he's known for his defenses. So to get all his players back that played 2 years ago, that'll be real sneaky. So I would say the Patriots is kind of like under the radar. And once again, hopefully none of my guys are listening to this until after the draft.
Right. Yeah, after the draft, like, oh, by the way, I was on a podcast. You guys want to go listen? Rich pointed out for us that it was Xavier Howard. That's who Miami's having issues with the contract.
Okay.
And I seen there was a post somewhere because basically he's getting, I think, 15 mil right now per year, and then like the number 2 guy who's a rookie is already getting 16 million. But they don't want to work with Xavier Howard. And it's just like, well, he's proven himself as a staple to your defense. So why wouldn't you want to give him the money?
Yeah.
It's again, but again, it's
the Rams defense is up there in the top 4 too.
I mean, they're posting videos of fucking what's his face Ramsey picking off Stafford in practice already, so it's like same old fucking business.
Yeah, Stafford got hurt too with the thumb. Yeah, he's got. I didn't.
All right, well, there goes his chance of a fucking ring.
Yeah. I know. I look. You said that. Listen. You said that earlier. You was like, I really want Stafford to win a ring, and I'm like, but he hurt his thumb. He had surgery on. I'll wait till later to say that.
No, tell me next time, man. Oh,
Oh,
wait till now. Thanks, man. Jeez. No,
it's nothing.
the defense.
It's nothing though. It's nothing.
I mean, he's in LA, so the best doctors are already there. So he's not like he's got to go find one. Yeah, Stafford to Cup's going to be a beautiful sight.
Yeah.
As long as Jalen Ramsey doesn't get in the fucking way and pick it off like he did the other day in practice. So, but I don't know. They got videos out there of him doing no look passes and shit.
Exactly.
But I mean, he was doing that shit here in Detroit, but it was just because the reason he wasn't looking is because he was on his back already. But that's besides the point.
That is besides the point. I want to know what Rich. Hey, Rich, go ahead and comment. Who you rather have, Woods or Cup? Robert Woods or Cup?
That's a good
fantasy
question. See, because Woods is always just completely produced out the ass, man. It's completely crazy how much he produces.
But
here we go.
You can't go. Yeah, Cup all day. See, the thing about Cup, he plays in the slot, so and he can go, play either side, or sometimes he can go outside. With Sean McVay, he can move people all around and disguise them.
Right.
But a sneaky tight end is Tyler Higbee. Stafford loves throwing tight ends, as you can see when he was here. If he has a bigger target, somebody who can throw it to. I think Higbee can definitely have a good year because but only the running back situation with I was so devastated. When the running back went down, I was like, oh man, when Akers got hurt, I was like, no. But Darrell Henderson, he should be I'm giving too many gems. Henderson.
Like, I don't know his name.
Can be a sneaky. right. What's the guy's name? Play for Rams. Yeah. So Henderson should definitely be a good addition if he can stay healthy.
No, I can agree with that definitely. So what's the best? And this is fantasy football lore. What is the best name that you've had for your team, whether it's been a winning team or not? Like, what is the best fantasy football team name that you came up with? Like,
I'll give you two, because there's one that I came up with, but you came up with the logo for me, and it's the best logo ever. I wish I had it with me to show you guys. The name of my team was Zeke and Destroy, and I still to this day have that team name. And you had Zeke, a little cartoon character with when the game he jumped into the Salvation Army, the bowl. Can you pull it up?
I'm trying while you're talking. I'm seeing because I honestly think I might have just deleted it like not too long ago. Oh shit, where is it?
Oh man, it was the greatest logo. So Zeke and Destroy would be the first one, and then the second one would be, which didn't pan out to be a great year, but Lights, Camara, Action, and you came up with that logo as well. The graphics for that one.
Oh man,
I took the names. He was like, "All right, I got something for you."
Well, not to mention when you mentioned the other day about coming up with a logo. I don't know if you come up with one. Rich has got a comment. I'm going to put it up on the. Don't tell the guys in my league, but the sleeper tight end I like this year is Dan Arnold.
All right, Dan Arnold's a nice one too.
I have an idea for your heavyweight golf. If I just got to write it out on paper, but I have an idea of incorporating an idea and a look into. Yeah, it's gone. I just deleted it because it was on my desktop and I just got rid of it. Dang nabbit. I'm so mad because I wish I wouldn't have done that. because I definitely would have pulled it back up. Damn. Yeah. So I think my favorite one that I ever did was Cooter's Killer Brew. It was back when we had our
the logo you
offensive coordinator for was Jim Bob Cooter, and we had a defensive player of Miles Killebrew, who's now on the Steelers, I believe. I believe he just signed with the Steelers, which, again, I wish if it wasn't for Patricia, I think he would have panned out into an even better player in a different with the right leadership. I think he would have became an even better player, but that's just my opinion.
Right.
So, but yeah, that, and then my latest one, which was I suck at fantasy football. I sucked at fucking fantasy football, so I just embraced it. You can digs at sucker. Yeah, my team name for the last 3 years, keep really nice. Hey, everybody loves Booker T. Everybody loves Booker T. So, yeah. So, what are you seeing that's gonna? What are you most excited about with fantasy football? Are you going to, when it comes to your draft, do you do anything special with? I mean, unfortunately, I know with COVID things might be a little bit different. Last year we did ours completely virtual. Like my brother set the draft up that like literally we were on the clock. He made it look like a legit draft. He would come in and out of the screen like Roger Goodell was sitting in the fucking recliner. Next thing you know, he's trashed halfway through the draft. What are you doing this year for the draft?
Yeah. Well, we have I have two leagues that's doing live drafts, and then the rest the other one is doing just virtual. But we're doing a live draft. We're going to, where are we going? Twin Peaks.
Okay.
One is at Twin Peaks. And the other one is I don't know. Gotta get back to you on that one. But
sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a few. The live drafts are good. If it's a difference between having a live draft where it's still virtual, where you can still draft from your phone, just meeting together, and actually doing where you have to put a sticker on the wall and that kind of draft. That is like night and day as far as drafting goes. How the difficult level. Then you're drinking, you forget the players, and knowing how to read the board is so much, and then it's so difficult to doing it that way, as opposed to you doing it on your phone where it tells you the top 10 available, and it tells you, who the experts pick, and I rather have it can go either way with me. It just I can't drink as much when it's a manual draft.
Right, because when it's manual draft, then next thing you know, you're drafting Serena Williams in the third, especially if you're a heavy drinker, and then you're just completely screwed. So,
yeah,
that was the best part about that show. I don't know if you ever had a chance to watch The League on FX. It's a show completely about fantasy football. So I'm sure you might be able to, if depending on what cable provider you have, The League, and I'm sure they probably put it up right now because it's the beginning of football season. I think it's like 5 or 6 different seasons, but like as the show went on, they had a bunch of more guest cameos of NFL players. Dude, the shit is hilarious. And even to go back and watch now and see the players and who interacted, and it's like AP was on there, Marshawn Lynch was on there, Antonio Gates, anybody and everybody you could imagine. And going back now, and it's just like, oh shit, like I don't even remember this, but if you get a chance, check it out. But yeah, it's a great show. It's hilarious, but it's all based upon fantasy football. So
definitely gotta check it out.
All right, so what's up?
what is the weirdest thing that happened during your draft? Right? It could be somebody drafting the wrong person, you know, or just something happened. Something. Tell us a story about what happened at a
Honestly,
draft.
it
The
was
weirdest
just
thing that happened, or who they drafted.
So our very first year, I got really cocky because I was I thought I was the most football inclined person there, which I literally lost every single game of the season, went into the playoffs, won the first round of no, I didn't. I won the losers game. I lost every single game. First round of the playoffs, second round, I won that game, so I didn't go in last place. Like that was probably that. And then the guy who won it with the very first pick that year took AP. And then the next year he got cocky, took AP again because he got the number 1 pick. And then ended up being in the last place of our league.
Oh,
so
wow.
So it was like, oh, it just came back. So for me, it was just like, because I got super cocky being in the draft, like, oh, I know more than everybody here. Da, 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 da. But again, it wasn't that I was basing it upon football knowledge and not fantasy football knowledge. And those are two totally different things. And that's what bit me in the ass was, yeah. So that was probably to me because I was so pissed off at the fact that I could not figure out why. I'm like, I know so much more about football than all these motherfuckers in this league. When all actuality, I didn't know fantasy football because I thought I was smart and I wasn't. So, but then I think probably last year, trying to do things fancy because of COVID and my brother basically being Roger Goodell and just getting completely ripped out of his mind, drinking in his recliner, coming out of the screen. Next thing you know, he's just like, I don't know, just whatever. Just pick next pick.
See, things like that what makes it fun,
Yes.
Yeah, things like that. That's what if you have a good commissioner, that right there they can make or break a league. If you have
for sure
who's committed 100%, yeah, that can make or break a league. One of my weirdest moments is the year that what's this quarterback's name? Colt. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Wentz?
Andrew.
Oh, Luck?
No. Coach, the one that retired. Luck, yeah. Luck.
Andrew Luck.
Man. All right, so Luck retired. We in the middle. Yeah, Andrew Luck. We in the middle of a draft, right? And I look at my phone. Andrew Luck is retiring. Of course, I didn't say anything. I put my phone down. It's like, so the next 3 picks, the third pick of the second round, the third round, the guy was like, yeah, I'm getting Andrew Luck. Oh, I was like, and I don't know because my phone was a little faster than everybody. I got the alert before, or maybe I was paying attention to my phone. I don't know. No one noticed until like round 7, 8, and they was like, "Hey man, Andrew, look, he just retired." And I was like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Oh no, I didn't realize.
They was like, "Hopefully, I didn't draft him." And then the guy was sitting in there and was like, "I want 2 more drinks this way." Like he just knew that he was totally lost. He was in last place because after that he kept thinking about Andrew Luck. He ended up taking 2 more quarterbacks the last 2 rounds. It was crazy. Yeah, it was funny though, but it's crazy.
I don't know how I would have been able to handle it. We weren't drafting when that happened. We've always made our draft. I don't know how we're going to do it this year, but we're always trying to push it to the very beginning of the season so that way it's always done. We used to always do it in week 4 of the preseason because that way it was just pickup players that were playing. We'd have the games on, shit like that. But basically, the full-on team was fully decided. No, teams were ready to go, and it was like never an issue on who was getting picked or who wasn't getting picked. In my keeper league, I traded Julio Jones for Luck and 2 months before he retired. Damn.
Wow.
So you definitely lost on. You thought you were winning on that trade, and then you ended up losing out on that trade, man.
Yeah.
That sucks. That is definitely not a lucky situation to be in. So, well, Mr. Heavyweight Golf yourself, I greatly appreciate you coming and hanging out. If you guys need any golf tips or tricks, especially if you got a little bit of luggage around the midsection, Britt Paige, Mr. Heavyweight Golf himself, is the one you need to contact. So go ahead and hit him up on Instagram and TikTok. I'm sure he will do anything and everything in his power to help you guys, and be on the lookout for Heavyweight Golf apparel and accessories coming very, very soon. If you guys also want to do me a big favor, give me a follow if you haven't already done so on that.nacho on TikTok and Instagram. Again, also pass this along to your friends, tinyurl.com/Nacho Avg podcast. Go ahead and let everybody subscribe. We got a question. When he gets his ass to Michigan, are we all going golfing? So when Rich comes to Michigan, Paige, are you going to join us for golf or what? Paige, I do not have any audio for you. We are having technical difficulties at this time. I don't know what's up with your microphone, sir. I have no problem with Paige joining us if he wants to. If Paige wants to join us, he's more than welcome to join it.
There we go.
There we go. Now I can hear you.
All right, there we go. See, I don't know. Somebody called me and just messed up everything. So, anyways, yes, 100% Rich. We can go golfing anytime, any place. I need you to come down here, or we can come out there. I just have to get a plan for it. But yeah, I'm with it.
I'm down to go back to Long Island, bro. Trust me, he'll take us to all these good ass food spots, and I'm gonna have to. That's what the one thing I've been thinking about with him coming here is where I got to take his ass to show him like pure Detroit delicacy. So that's one of the things that I'm working on. But yes, I'm down to go and play golf. So we can all. His door is always open. Yes. This is
sounds good.
Let's do this. So again, everybody, I appreciate y'all coming to visit us, hang out with myself, Mr. Heavyweight Golf.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, anytime. I look forward to see what you have in pack or in store for the future with your branding, and I think you are going to be doing great things. Again, if you guys need to, please go ahead and give him a follow at heavyweight_golf on TikTok and Instagram. Thank you again. We will be back next week. I will have another special guest and the Great Bandito. That's all that I'm saying is the Great Bandito. More information is to come. And I will see you guys next week. And again, Paige, appreciate you coming through. And we'll see you guys then. Peace.
Thanks.